We all know the feeling. We go into the fridge to get some milky goodness. We reach into the fridge for the container. We bring it out to pour it into our cup, and then we look at the hole. Oh my God, who cut this hole? We are very particular about our milk holes, and sometimes we even find discomfort when we view a ill-executed milk hole. Though I have found that with many things, better tolerance for these milk holes can be found with better education. So I strive to educate you on the Zen art of milk holes and milk holing. Now, the first type of milk hole is the no hole. You may recognize this. You go into the fridge, you attempt to pour, and then they didn't cut a hole. And this drives you insane. Because you try to think, why would they put it in the cart, in the container, and not cut a hole? What kind of nefarious, ill-minded person would do such a thing? The unfortunate thing is I'm marrying someone like this. Diana is a no-holer. And unfortunately, she might just get a pair of scissors in her stocking this Christmas. And a bottle of mouthwash. But that's to say that no-holers are not so bad. They're not bad people, they're just people who just don't know how to cut holes. That brings me to the second hole, which is what I call the micro hole. Now the micro hole isn't really even a hole at all. I call it it can even be just called a pinhole, a milk leak, or even the I failed but I don't care hole. Now, executors of the I failed but I don't care hole, there's hope for you still. And I say, continue. Strive for excellence in your milk holes. Don't just stop there. Try to cut it again. You might get it the second time. If you said, well, Ryan, I cut it a second time and it didn't work. Well, to that I would say, put down the safety scissors and get some big person scissors. The second type of hole, the third type of hole, which is actually a hole now, is something you may recognize. It is the low-flow, timid hole. The milk doesn't go very fast, and it sometimes drives you insane as well if you like a more girthy, flow. Now, there are many reasons why people might enjoy this type of hole, might cut this type of hole. First one is because they don't want their milk putting out too quickly to new people. The second reason is because maybe they don't want the responsibility of a very girthy flow. And the final reason, and these are the people you have to watch out for, these people are malicious. They're deviant. They know you like a wider hole, but they cut it smaller because they just want to see what you do. They want to see you squirm, and they take glee in your suffering. But you may say to me, well, Ryan, why can't I just leave my hole like this? I like it like this. But I say, what about the poor old milk pourer? These were designed to be a low-flow device to your tea and coffee. And if you implement low-flow holes in your milk, where in the world these devices don't have places in society? So I say, feel good, give a place in society for these poor old milk hole pourers. The fourth type of hole is the best hole. It is the creme de la creme, the pièce de la résistance. I call it the paragon hole. The paragon hole is a marvel of efficiency and versatility. You can give a controlled pour by a slight tilt, but even at full blast, you have not so much of a dangerous situation going on here. Wise souls use these kind of holes. They are a result of much practice and a lifetime full of cutting and pouring holes. They're the type of people who constantly can't get enough of that sugar crisp and will follow their nose to the fruit flavors of Fruit Loops. Now, unfortunately though, many people fall into the trap of what I call the Niagara hole. This hole is too large, and unfortunately, at maximum flow, the milk is going out too fast, you don't know what to do with it. Your cereal in glass might suffer. Now, it's too much for a human being to actually control, that's why I sometimes call it the God hole. Now, people who cut such holes are not to be ridiculed. because it is a very complicated thing to cut a milk hole. It's stressful, and you don't know where exactly to cut it, and it's too big, and you can't go back for a Niagara hole. The final type of hole is what I call the outrageous milk flow generator hole, or the OMFG hole. One time I went into my refrigerator and my roommate had cut a hole of epic proportions. I didn't understand it. I felt sorry for my cereal, which was about to receive this like a super soaker when you were a kid. It was going to pour like an insane inferno of milk onto the thing. There's no hope for people like you. I'm sorry. So in summary, I've discussed 6 different types of holes. The no hole, the micro hole, the timid hole, the Paragon hole, the Niagara hole, and the OMFG hole. And I hope you take from this speech that when it comes to milk holes, size does matter.